microphone to you so we can get it on the feed, but we'll go ahead and start at the back. Chris Baldwin with the mic. Go ahead, Chris.
Kelvin, the defense told them that 20 points in the first half. What was the key there?
Our discipline, being connected. Everything starts with our point of attack, and then it flows down from there. When Cincinnati's at their best, they're really good at short rolls and then their long rolls. When we watched them against Iowa State, they were excellent in all those areas, and then haven't played them. But we're not the same team we were a month ago. Teams don't stay the same. Either get better, or you get worse. There is no about the same. So we're improving. We have guys that when we go win the game, our defense is not taking a dip like it did a month ago. It's kind of what I expected. November is exactly what I expected. December, January. I think we lost 1 month. I think we lost one game the month of November, right? And we lost one game the month of January, right?
Go ahead, Joseph, in the middle.
Kelvin, the bench production, getting Isiah and Mercy, is that just a moment to get them in, or by design that you wanted to try to get them early? And
Yeah, I would say by design. Just trying to be better defensively in the second half. None of these guys should be playing 38, 39 minutes. And I thought Mercy and we didn't have any drop-off tonight. Sometimes when I substitute, you guys can't see it, but I can. There's a drop-off. And, you get better in practice in this program. You have to earn the right to play in the game, but you have to get better through practice. And, Mercy fouled a shooter, which is a no-no, but he was in the right position most of the time. So we'll be able now to take his minutes and sit down with him and correct his mistakes. But I thought his focus and attention to detail, discipline. Anytime you turn a team over 19 times and you only have 4, that means your team is locked into playing the way that to our identity. We're either, there's 370 teams, and we're either first or second fewest turnovers committed. But we're usually top 5 in the nation every year. That's always been something we've been good at, because we focus on singles. Kingston tried to fire a grand slam across the court, and you saw where that got him. Really, really pleased tonight with Isiah. And, on a night when Kingston's struggling with fatigue, just tired, I don't know if I've ever had a team needs a day off more than this team. And it started really in the after the Arizona State game. It's been a while since we've been able to rest. We're last Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, leave Tuesday, play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday's the day before, and then you turn around and play at 11 o'clock in the morning. So it's been a long 7 or 8 days, but really, really thrilled with Milos's attention to detail. The last game we played, TCU trapped every ball screen, right? Yep. So when they trap ball screens, nobody's getting in the paint. But that's credit to TCU. We didn't try to get in the paint. We tried to move the ball and get an open shot, and that's what we did. Now, tonight, they were in drop coverage, and last year, Milos murdered teams that were in drop coverage. So when teams play in drop coverage, Milos does a good job of manipulating the defense, and I thought he did an awesome job of that tonight. Kingston did too. Every shot Kingston shot, especially all of his paint shots, I thought all those were going to go in. They just didn't go in today, but that's all right. That's of no significance whatsoever. Shouldn't even be mentioned. What should be mentioned is how well Milos played, how well Chris played, how well Isiah played, how well JoJo played. That's why we have a team. Name on the front of our jersey says Houston. That's all. As long as Houston plays good, that means we're good.
What did you do to hold Baba Miller to 2 points?
I think the biggest thing is force him to make a pass every time. You know, we wanted him to lead him in assist, and we felt like if we got into the right spots, again, when you look at him against certain teams, they do a great job. West does a good job of with a plan to use him as kind of a point forward. So they'll play him out, extended wing, almost to this, and he's got the ability to throw that two-hand overhead snap pass to the weak side. And so we took all those away. And so now, I don't know how many assists he had.
3.
Yeah, he had 3 assists, but he had 2 turnovers, you know. But you know, our defense, when it's at its best, we're always in the right spot, you know. And the shot that we're going to give up is a contested 3. Some nights they make them, some nights they don't. But Cincinnati got those tonight. But had they not made those, they would have struggled a little bit. But we did a good job of taking away everything in the paint and forcing them to throw the ball out and shoot contested shots. The Tillery kid's going to be a good player. He can really shoot. And we already knew how good a shooter Celestine was. But just, you know, the key to our success over the years has always been our discipline. We've always been really disciplined on offense and on defense. And this team is just getting better in those areas. So, but I'm looking forward to them having a day off so we can come in here a little fresher. I just thought we were tired. I thought we were tired heading to Fort Worth. I thought we were tired in practice. Not to mean I didn't mention it to them because they still got to practice. If you're tired, doesn't mean we're not going to do anything different. That ain't my problem. But tomorrow, I don't even want to see them. I'm sure they're going to miss me, but I don't want to see them.
Hey, Coach. You talked about how your team has grown every single month so far throughout the year. How have you evaluated that growth, and then also some of the areas you want to see improve throughout the team?
I think the evaluation starts in the areas that we have identified the things we want to be good at. We don't try to be good at 10 things. Like somebody here said, why don't you guys do this? Because we don't care about that. You know, our half-court defense. To be good in half-court defense, you have to be outstanding in transition defense. Because if you're giving up baskets or points in transition, then half-court defense is insignificant. So we do a really good job of getting back, forcing teams to have to play in the half-court, and then defending multiple actions. A middle pick and roll is an action. You saw Day Thomas run back and forth off those screens. That requires preparation. You just don't show it to him and say, now you guard him, here's what he's doing. You have to really work at that because it takes 5 people to guard any action. But it takes a while for 5 people to get connected at that. But then offensively is ball movement. I don't know how many assists we had tonight. 14. But, you know, Milos very rarely takes a difficult shot because his basketball IQ is off the charts. Isiah has put in a lot of extra work here recently, and it's good to see it pay off for him. JoJo, I thought, was outstanding tonight, and Khalifa. I thought I intentionally got him into the game early tonight, and I thought his early minutes, there was no dip. You know, through my lens, I try to see what the team looks like when we're making substitutions. Is there some slippage in a certain area? Khalifa went in, our defense stayed elite. Isiah went in, our defense stayed elite. Mercy went in, our defense stayed elite. Ramon went in, our defense stayed elite. And so that just means we're getting better. You don't start off elite at nothing in November. By December, you should see some signs of progress, but you're nowhere near the team you're going to be. Same thing with January. Now, as we turn the corner a little bit and start headed toward the barn, you know, you get into February, you know, you're going to play some tough teams, and you're probably going to lose some games. But that's never bothered me, losing games.
We'll take some questions for student athletes, please. Ron, you good?
Laurent Perron, Coug Radio. Milos, as one of the leaders on the team, how do you extend coach's standard of discipline to everybody else, especially when the score starts to separate?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, that's something I'm working on. I think just trying to be the coach out there on the floor, hold the guys accountable and hold myself accountable. That's how you extend leads. That's how you go from 10 to 15. So I think that's the jump we're trying to make. When we go up 10, not to just relax and just make sure we play with the same intensity. That's something we're working on for sure.
Isaiah, 18 minutes. What's it been like just sort of knowing, you know, you missed that time to begin the year and then sort of still working your way back, but now you're getting into, it looks like more of a flow where you're able to go in and have meaningful minutes and contribute the way I know you want to contribute. What's that been like, that process for you?
It's been amazing, you know. Just go in. My goal is just to have my brothers back, you know. I'm playing 5-on-5 out there, so, you know, everybody needs somebody to help them. Just really rely on each other. So being able to be one of those ones to go out there and help my brothers out is great.
Kelvin, Chris coming out aggressive and his efficiency, I think he was 5 for 8. What does that, you know, do for you guys when he comes out like that?
Well, he was taking good shots. And I thought we were so there's two ways we evaluate offensive rebounds. And the first one starts with tips. You know, we generate tips, and then it becomes a airborne loose ball. Loose balls aren't always on the floor. Sometimes they're in the air, and you create it by tipping it. If you're guarding somebody, you can create one with a deflection. But on a rebound, you can just keep it alive. Just keep the ball alive, and somebody come. We were really, really close to getting a lot of offensive rebounds first half because we had a concentrated effort for our tips. And when we're really good, we usually have between 25 and 30 tips. And when we get to 25, 27, I don't know that we've lost a game in 7 years when we get there. But there are some teams that are elite at blocking you out. And it takes a while to get home on certain teams. Like, you know, they're 7'2" and 6'11", and then they bring the 2'6'9" big bodies off the bench. And you know, Wes's teams have always been well coached. But we just stayed with it. Basketball is a very simple game. I've noticed a lot of people try to make it complicated, but it's not. It's a very simple game.
I got time for one more question. We're going to Chris Gardner in the back, please.
Coach, just you're wearing the Coaches versus Cancer sticker right there. Just talk about your thoughts on that, please.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking that, Chris. So my two grandmothers, my mother, and I've had aunts and uncles all passed away with cancer. And the American Cancer Society's been around for a long time, but the Coaches Association and our connection to the Cancer Society started with when I was a head coach at Oklahoma. Actually, I was the head coach at Washington State. Billy Tubbs was the coach at Oklahoma, and the coach from the University of Missouri, his name was Norm Stewart. They were flying from Columbia to Norman, and he passed out on the plane, and he went and got checked out and found out that he had stomach cancer, and he wanted to do something to make a difference in other people's lives. So my respect for Norm Stewart and people like Lon Kruger, Brad Underwood, Mark Few, Jay Billis, coaches all across the country that host events to raise money. The Jim Valvano Fund. And shout out to Dick Vitale. You know, I've known Dick for 30-some years. The impact that he's had on people's lives every year, he helps save lives with all the money that he's raised, whether it's through the V Foundation, that Jim Valvano's program, or his foundation. And so I'm proud to wear this badge, because it's going to touch all of us at some point, whether it's us personally or someone close to us, maybe a family member, maybe a friend. And early testing is important, especially for men with prostate. You know, you know, once you get to a certain age, you got to be really diligent in doing your work. I know I get checked for things now that I never thought about, because when you get older, you know, those things become a reality. But there's so many people out there that's doing great work, and I'm proud to be associated with the American Cancer Society and the National Association of Basketball Coaches, and the commitment we have to helping fight cancer. But the other one is, this is child literacy. It's been a big emphasis on children reading. You know, can't remember the name of the elementary school. It was right before Christmas. I went over, it's in the 3rd Ward, and I was just watching those teachers and those kids and their energy and their excitement. They had some Houston police officers there that day, and some of the affiliates, television networks were in there, and I was just interacting with a lot of those kids. God, there's some really highly intelligent kids in these communities that, given the opportunity, they're all going to go on and have an opportunity to do great things. But there's a lot of kids that don't have access to books, and being able to be an advocate for child literacy and emphasizing and promoting the importance of reading books. If you have a child who can't read to him or her. And if you have a child that's old enough, instead of getting them a video game, get them a book. Get them a book about video games. Let them read the book. But just encouraging those things. And I'm appreciative of the platform that we have, that we're able to do that.
Coach, Isiah, Milos, thank you very much for your time.